Hello dear friends, welcome to my channel English tutorial. Today we are going to discuss about Sir Phillip Sidney's famous sonnet Loving in Truth. This is one of the greatest love sonnet in the history of English literature, and this poem is inspirational for those who are uh, uh, trying to copy someone's, and our poet idea is a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. That means poetry or any kind of art should not be copied by others. It should be original. It should be come from the core of the writer's heart. So let's start the poem discussion. So here we would like to learn little bit about the poet. Our poet Sir Phillip Sidney was born in 1554 and died in 1586. So you should keep in mind, it is important for short questions. Okay. So he was an English poet. He was an English poet, a scholar, soldier, and a courtier. Sir Phillip Sidney is remembered as one of the main literary figures of Elizabethan age. His most notable works include Astrophel and Stella, Defense of Poesy, The Countess of Pembroke, Arcadia. So sonnet number 1 is featured in Astrophel and Stella, a sonnet sequence that has 108 sonnets and 11 songs. Astrophel and Stella was probably written in 1580s, and it narrates the story of Astrophel and his hopeless passion for Stella. Moreover, it is the first sonnet sequence written in English language. Particularly, Sonnet 1 depicts the lyrical voice's motivation for writing sonnet sequences. So, what we will learn in this poetry is our poet's confession about writing on original poetry, how to write on original poetry to portray the poet's heart, and it reveals towards the audience. So every writer should follow the principle of Sir Phillip Sidney while they are writing their original contents. So though it has been a love poem based on the real love of our poets, the name of the beloved is Penelope Douvreux, and it is a failed love, but he is trying to confess and try to impress the particular girl through writing this poetry. So dear friends, I am not using any vernacular language, either it is Bengali, okay, or English, sorry, Hindi, why? Because I want to make you habituate to listen English and adopt the art of speaking English fluently. So if you listen this kind of lecture delivered by by me, I 100% believe that your speaking fluency will be great in near future. So keep watching my all videos in English. This English is very transparent, very clear to understand. You have to adopt the technique of speaking and adopt the technique of narration. So let's proceed to the next slide. So look at the title. The title "Loving in Truth" is not originally given by the poet. This is not title. This title is not given by the poet. This is the very beginning line of this sonnet sequence. That's why it is titled like this. So what we should do with the title "Loving in Truth"? As I have said to you that our poet is in love with Penelope Douvarix, and she was married with another man, but as the poet feels that she loves him a lot, so he is trying to compose a poetry with the pain of their previous love affair, so that the girl may get charmed again by the feeling of the poet's heart, and it is our poet's intention. So let's read. Loving in truth, that means original love. Original love, that is, love is not fabricated, but it is original love. And fain in verse my love to show. So I want to show my love to my beloved, and I am in love with her a lot, though she is not with me, but I am in love with her, and I have to show my genuine love to her in the form of poetry, that she might take some pleasure of my fame. That means while he is reading, or while she will reading the text composed by the poet, a text, she might feel the feeling of my heart, what is I am feeling now. So it is very clear to understand. Pleasure might cause her read, reading might make her know. So if she get delighted, okay, with the text composed by the poet, okay, so it compels her to read the entire poem. It compels her to read the entire poem. Reading might take her know. So if she read my text, she must know the present condition of my heart. Knowledge might pity win, and pity grace obtain. So as she read my text, she might be pity with my feelings, and pretty must grace obtain. That means I might able to get her grace through my poem. I sought fit words to paint my blackest face of woe. So our poet is in search of the fitful word or the suitable word to portray her blackest heart or her blackest face of woe. That means he is in kind of depression of his love failure or a separation from his beloved. So he is now searching for suitable words to portray his blackest face of woe. O means sadness. Studying innovations fine, her wits to entertain. So, our poet is saying that if if I study others, if I study others notes, others poetry, I might invent something new, her wits to entertain, and she might feel that the composition, particular composition, is full of tact and standard, of turning others' lip to see if thence would flow some fresh and fruitful showers upon my sunburned brains. So now our poet is starting to turn up others' pages. That means the poem composed by others' poet, probably the love poem, okay, to see thence would flow, with the possibility that if he turned the other pages of the poets, he might be able to find a suitable word to portray his blackest face of woe. But our poet confesses in the later part of this poetry that this technique, okay, turning others' leaves, is not an original or authentic way for compose an original poem or a unplagiarized poem. So let's see what happened in the next. In the last part of the poetry, we find, but the words come halting forth, wanting innovation stray. So our poet is trying to turn up the other's pages, but it is not successful while he is trying to write a poetry with this artificial word copied from the another poetry. It makes him halting. That means it is not originally coming from the core of the heart. It creates a kind of halt forth. Okay, wanting innovation stray. That means he uh, wants to innovate something new from his own end, because innovation is an original things and spontaneous thing. Innovation is unique things, and our poet thinks that it is a nature's child, flayed step dummy or studies blow. So our poet thinks that innovation, that means creating a new words, new phrases, is the natural way, but sorry,